My name is Laura Harris. I am the Web Services and Distance Learning Librarian. And just as a little factoid about me, I have a master's in curriculum development and instructional technology, and I did that entirely online. So and honestly, I feel like the only community I had in that program were people from that I worked with at Oswego. So it really, I don't feel like they do very much for me in terms of building that community. So I'm excited that we get to do these things.
Absolutely. But I'm Karen Archibald. I'm an academic planning coordinator in the Division of Extended Learning. So I primarily advise with adult learners that are focused in online learning. I manage the online integrated professional studies program. And so I am one of the coordinators for that. And then I also do program management for micro-credentials at Oswego. So those are a little bit smaller subset of courses you can take and earn a digital badge. So they're a little bit of a different process than the traditional programs that you're in studying to get a degree. So we'll go ahead and get started. This session is focusing on parallel working or body doubling, but some people find the name kind of odd. So you can call it either one. And then virtual study halls. We just have some, pieces of information we want to share. But Laura, do you want to take it away and I'll mute so you don't have to listen to Otis, my dog?
Great, thanks. So body doubling is, and this is a definition that I got from the article, which you can see the link to below. But body doubling is using the presence of someone either in the same room, online, via media to help start, work on, or accomplish the task. And I personally found this really, the title really kind of funny because I learned about what body doubling was because my mom mentioned something to me, and she's like, you seem to do better at this task, when I'm around. And then several months later, I heard about body doubling. So it was something I naturally found work and heard about later. I'm like, that was exactly my experience. Um, Now, this article is really focused, and I have heard of this term body doubling with relation to ADHD. That it's a really good strategy for people with ADHD, but I personally think it's a strategy that can be useful for anyone, whether they identify as neurodivergent or not. So this article kind of describes body doubling across a few different characteristics, and I thought it was really helpful. So one thing they're talking about, one dimension is space. So it can be something you do in person. So like my mom and I working together, that was, we were actually physically in the same place. But you could also be on a Zoom call, with your friend or a classmate, and you're working silently, but the other person is there. So it can be either geographically close or online close. One of the other dimensions is time. You're actually there. Again, if you're doing it in person, you're there at the same time. But I know there are also a lot of people who record videos and post them on YouTube. And those are sort of meant to inspire you to do the same thing, like clean my room with me or study with me. So they're recorded, and you can just access them at whatever time works for you. And then the last sort of dimension they talk about is mutuality. Basically, do you know these people or not? And, again, for me, with my mom, that was somebody who's right there. I'm very close to my mom. Then on the other hand, you can also work with people you don't know. And the examples they give in the article about this are like working in a coffee shop or working in a library. And I really love that, of course, because I'm a librarian and I like the idea of, the library being a place where people are going to work and sort of share that kind of that same purpose, even though you don't know each other. So if you want to move to the next slide, Karen. So, this is last semester, the first time we did this presentation, and we discovered a few different free sites for this. And one of the things I encountered in the article was really that this is something that does not need to cost any money. You know, with the technology we have, I mean, as Oswego students, you have like a pro Zoom account. So as long as you have somebody to study with, you can just both hop on Zoom, you can hop on Google Meet. There's really no reason to pay unless you really want to. Karen, could you click on the, I think it was the study stream one we showed last time.
Yeah.
And if you click see others live, it's actually going to show you people who are working together right now, which I think is really cool. And so, I mean, you can see it looks like these people are all over the world. Some are studying for exams. Somebody is studying before work, working on JavaScript homework, physical chemistry homework. So these people are all here, you know, online, which I think is just really a cool idea if you want to have people around. So there are these other options that are on in our presentation that you can check out if you'd like. You can try body doubling or study with me or something on YouTube to find, you know, if you don't care if it's live, then you can try something like that. And I'm going to turn it over to Karen, going to now talk about some Oswego options.
Yeah. I learned about body doubling during COVID, actually. I have 2 kids and I was trying to figure out how are other people managing this chaos basically of working, virtual learning, all the things. And that's how I found out about it. And I didn't realize it was actually a tactic that you can use for like self-motivation. So I found it to be really helpful, especially talking about it with students. So something that we're going to be launching this semester are virtual study halls. There's been studies shown that really indicate that students benefit from these. It's very useful. It's a great way to manage your time. And again, it's this idea of a coordinated effort by, you know, our institution to open sessions where you can come and either work, like parallel work. You're just hanging out, you have your Zoom open, you're on, camera off, and you're working. Then there's also the opportunity that other people join the Zoom and maybe they're in the same class together. And so then what we can do is actually move them into a breakout room. So then they can talk and kind of work on studying, or, hey, I'm having trouble with this one thing, or I need some ideas for this paper we have to do. So we want to try to, you know, help incorporate that into our students' lives, whether they're completely online or perhaps you are at the main campus or you're at the Syracuse campus. But again, this would be other folks in your classes and in the same subset of students that we're working with in these sessions. So we're going to be emailing out from our Oswego, probably the online programs, perhaps. Email, they'll be coming out with dates and times. So what we've been doing is looking at days of the week, Monday through Thursday, looking at the time frames of like 5 to 7, 6 to 8, 6:30 to 8:30, those types of things, around 2 hours. And so then we can offer the opportunity for people to join this with no pressure. We'll just be opening the rooms, and then you come in and you can work or talk with us as academic planning coordinators. There's several of us that'll be doing this that manage with online learning. And then the other idea is that encouraging others to run their own study halls, so that maybe if you're in a class with some other folks, you want to offer to open a Zoom room, people can come in and you can all study together. I think this is really beneficial, especially for those that are managing, you know, life outside of class. So you're working, you've got family, you're managing aging parents, or you have children, anything like that. If you can say to them, I have this Zoom meeting I have to be on, you know, at 5 o'clock. So you guys all have to go do your thing. I'm going to go and do my work. This might be a way for people to leave you alone, essentially, because if you have a Zoom you have to be on, that's a good indicator that you're occupied and you're busy. So we're just wanting to offer more opportunities for our students to get to know each other and to also have focused learning time outside of class, that they can do that. And then our goal, ultimately, we were talking about today, is that we'll actually be able to invite faculty to come to these so that they can also offer office hours, essentially, so that they can be there. And this would be part of their office hour opportunity where people can join this, go off to a breakout room, and have that time to get those questions answered with any concerns you might have in class. So be sure to keep that. So we did some research about the benefits of study halls, and I know I talked a little bit about them, but these were more in different articles. So they've been a little more proven than just my ideas. But again, it increases the likelihood of completing coursework because again, you are kind of obligating your time to someone else, and sometimes that can be really helpful to keep you motivated. In our newsletter we just sent out to our online students, we had the Gretchen Rubin's 4 tendencies quiz. And that I found has been really helpful. So I took the quiz. I found out that I'm an obliger. I need to be accountable to other people in order to reach my goals. And so this might work really well if you find that you're an obliger as well. And I can put the quiz link in the chat if anyone wants to take it. So you're more likely to complete coursework if you're joining these study halls. Positive peer pressure, if you have your camera on, it might help you to stay focused, knowing that people can see you, or maybe they're not even looking, but you never know. Students who engage with study halls are more likely to persist to graduation. Obviously, that's a big thing. It will help build community and help you engage with other people, we're hoping. And again, that will impact your community and belonging. So here's a quote down here about joining a study hall. This was from one of the articles that I had read through. And so again, this has been found and it works with neurodivergent folks. And so it's a great opportunity for people that may just have difficulty focusing. I know I have extreme difficulty focusing. So being on with people, you know, jumping onto a Zoom with a colleague, I'm forced to get more done because we're together. So I find it to work really well. So that's our whole like presentation. Again, we really wanted to try to keep it, you know, very low stakes. We wanted to be able to offer a conversation during this time and help people chat more, give ideas to what you could do in your learning. And I know we have some folks that are like driving right now, so obviously I don't want to interrupt on that, but if anyone has any questions or anything that they want to just ask about, I've been at the institution for a long time and Laura has too. When did you start, Laura?
2016, so
Okay.
in January. So I've been here 9 years.
Yeah. So if you have any just like college questions about Oswego, we can try to help answer that as well. But while we wait, I'll put the link from the PowerPoint in the chat for the article that you mentioned, Laura, and then I'll put in the Gretchen Rubin's quiz as well in case anybody wants to save it for later. I find it to be a pretty effective quiz. Anyone have anything on their mind?
I have just a general question. Like I
Yeah.
said earlier, my name is Mel Yusuf. I'm fairly new to like the non-traditional commuter. In my second semester, I'm a second semester sophomore. I just wanted to know if you guys had any advice. I found it challenging commuting from Syracuse with the weather and just like home life. I'm still getting adjusted to the balance of like home, and because when I was going to school with OCC, obviously it was 10 minutes down the road. I obviously am still struggling with my scheduling with home life, and I only have one online class. Most of my classes are on campus. So Monday through Friday, I'm like back and forth 45 minutes every day of the week. It's become a little stressful. I just wanted to know if you had any advice. For me, like I said, I'm non-traditional and I am a commuter. So for me, I just want to know if anyone had any similar experiences or any advice that they could offer at this time.
Well, I just want to say I live in Baldwinsville, so I commute to Oswego pretty much every day. And I swear this winter has been like, when I first got here, the winters were kind of like this. And then we had a bunch of very mild winters. And this winter has been crazy. So I don't have any
Okay.
advice on that, but I do. I I want to commiserate because yeah, I can. It's like the driving itself is like not so much a problem for me, but when you have that added stress of like really having to be alert, you know, for the weather conditions, it is a little bit more stressful. Um, Karen, yeah, so I have commiserations. I'm gonna turn it over to Karen because I bet she'll have some more useful advice.
Thank you so much, Laura.
When you're on campus, Mel, do you have any downtime or are you pretty much back to back and then you hop out?
So I actually do Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays. So because I have basically just one accounting class, so I find myself more productive when I'm on campus. So what I
Mhm.
like to do is stay on campus. But sometimes obviously it doesn't always persist. I do have to drive back, and once I'm like gone, I don't obviously come back. But I found it's hard to find community being a non-traditional student. So I've tried to join certain clubs, but it's difficult because of the time frames that they have the clubs, because it's usually in the evenings, and with the drive it's usually for me, I'm like, once I leave Syracuse, Oswego, I apologize, I'm kind of like, I'm home, if that makes sense. I am a part of C-step, so that has helped a lot, but ultimately I'm still looking for community, I guess you could say, and my place on campus, because a lot of my
Yeah.
classes are with freshmen, so I because of the age gap it could be a little difficult.
Yeah, you're definitely not the only one we've heard that from. It is a struggle with non-traditional students, and I would say our campus is definitely starting to move into the area of recognizing that. In the past, before COVID, I remember, and I've been at Oswego since 2012, so I remember there was like a commuter club, there was a transfer club, there's transfer services, and those kind of ebbed and flowed. And the thing with clubs is it only exists if students manage it, and a lot of our non-traditional students don't have time to manage a club because they're doing things and they're not here and they're going back and forth. So that's really tricky. I would say in this case, if you lean on those folks that you've gotten to know in C-Step, like Christina and Stephanie, people like Laura who are on campus, if when you're around, if you want to pop in,
Okay.
there's just like great, I'm over in Sheldon Hall and I'm on the third floor in extended learning. So if you ever have downtime and you're, not trying to study or do something in between, I would say connecting with the staff and your faculty as much as you can would probably be helpful. And then when you're there, a lot of times you might end up meeting someone else, another student. And so that's a really interesting point you made about having a hard time finding your place, because that's good to know so that this committee and the people that are really invested in our adult learners can continue to do that work to push for more ideas. I mean, we're starting a book club
Oh, nice.
we started with more of our online cohort, but we could, extend it out to other students that are on campus, and it's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey.
Oh
Um,
my, I've actually read that book. I love it.
yeah, and we did that because we know students wanted to have community. We wanted to have it be, again, a low stress, low stakes type of situation. So I'd be happy to bring that up because we do meet online. So it'd be a way to meet other people, even if they are online students, at least connect with other folks that are like-minded.
Of course. I
Yeah.
definitely appreciate all your information.
Yeah, and I can follow up. I know we'll send out an email with the recording and things like that, but I'm happy to send an email directly to you since I have the registration information and connect you that way. I'd love to help with that. I see Jessica unmuted.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came in as a junior, but I've been in school in 25 years.
Oh,
I'm on the Syracuse campus. I have a Monday and a Thursday evening. I'm very much struggling with just, there's a lot of information, a lot of content. So is
yeah.
there anything that I could do, someone I could talk to that could help me kind of, I don't even know what I need.
Yeah, that's okay. I find that a lot. We find that people don't even know kind of what they need or how to put into words what they think they might need. And so we try to work with that and help you figure that out. Same thing, I can follow up with some resources. Our academic services office where are on campus for the main campus. The advisors there, they put on a ton of different programs about time management, managing stress, all that kind of stuff. So I can send you links to stuff. My biggest thing for you being at the Syracuse campus is if you can connect with Lisa Brancato. Have you chatted with her much?
She helped me through the whole process of applying and getting accepted, but I haven't talked to her since classes started.
Okay, I would reach out and I'm happy to like start an email thread between the three of us. Since I work with her all the time, and
Awesome.
she's a wealth of knowledge and she's very committed to students, especially at the Syracuse campus. because that's who she advises. So, you know, I'm happy to connect you two. So maybe you could coordinate on a night when you're coming in for class before she leaves for the evening. Also, Sarah Nagel is wonderful there.
Okay.
She's the night person, so you'll see
Yes.
her more often, and she's awesome. So I would just try to strike up conversation with her. I find that Oswego is great once you can figure out how to connect with people. Once those connections are built, that's why I've been at the campus so long, is because I've just loved the people I've met, students included. So, you know, I'm happy to get you links to different recordings and things that could help you, whether it's about time, stress, or connecting like Mel.
Yeah, all of it would be great.
Absolutely. And welcome back. That's a huge accomplishment to be out and then come back. Good for you.
Yeah, it's a lot, but I'll get it done.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Laura, do you want to add anything or any other thoughts from anybody?
I guess, for Mel, I want you to know you're always welcome in the library. There's, obviously lots of spaces in the library, you know, computers but we try to also have comfy furniture and stuff. And for, Jessica, I hope to meet you sometime. I'm not at the Syracuse campus often, but I do pop down there every once in a while, so, I think it's really a nice campus, and everybody who works, I mean, I would say I know the people who work at the Syracuse campus better, obviously, because it's a smaller group of people than everyone who works at the main campus. But I
Right.
think everybody who works at the Syracuse campus is just really friendly, and yeah.
I agree. They've been very helpful. Just, I guess I didn't know what to ask for, so thanks.
I just wanted to say thanks to Laura and Karen. You guys have been very insightful. I appreciate all of your advice and information. I'm looking forward to that email from you, Karen. And I will definitely stop in, Laura, and see you. I'm in the library quite frequently. So I'm usually in the media room 211. That's like my favorite place to book in the group spaces. And I'm usually in there Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But I'll definitely have to stop in and say hello. And Karen, I'd love to meet you as well.
Yeah, and I was just thinking if you're in Rich Hall, which I'm assuming you are, Alicia King.
Actually, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Oh no,
I'm
you're
taking
fine.
my first set of accounting classes this semester. So I'm in Rich Hall this semester for the first
Okay.
time. So yeah, I'm still getting comfortable with the building because most of my other classes, I was taking a lot of general education courses. So
Okay.
right now I'm taking my first accounting 101 course. So this is the first year or first semester I should say, that I've been in that building. And I've only go here for like my accounting course, but in the future I need to go more, obviously, because I'm in finance. I know a lot of my classes will be there, but it's
Yeah.
just like I'm in and out, so I still haven't kind of checked out the building too much.
That's okay. I was just there today actually for a meeting at noon. I go over quite a bit. So maybe we can connect and try to even just like if you have time to grab a coffee there at Rich and
Sure.
Poor. Alicia King is the director of the advising center there. She's phenomenal. Julia Lamb's another advisor there. So I know people. I'm happy to help connect you to folks and help like build those relationships. Because I know even just today, Alicia, when we were meeting, and I don't mind this at all, I'm not saying it negatively, she was interrupted quite a bit by students who needed to chat with her about things. So I saw lots of different faces, lots of students. So I think she'd be a really great connection for you to build more rapport with those students that you're going to be spending more time with in the coming semesters. It always is tough no matter what age you're at when you're trying to do gen eds, because there's just like sometimes there's no connection to the material, to the people. You're all kind of in it for different things. So I do think that once you start diving further into your major curriculum, you'll start to build those connections with other students, because you'll just be with them more. So but we'll get you started. We can definitely
Thank
do
you.
that. Yeah.
I appreciate it so much. You
Oh,
guys
I'm
have a
happy. I love this. I love like helping people find their way. So
yeah.
well, it's 6:29. If anybody else has anything, I'm happy to stay on and answer more questions. If not, I don't want to hold you guys up from your evenings either. But I'll be reaching out. I'll connect you with you, Jessica and Mel too. And then Alexandrina, if you have any questions or anything, I can shoot you an email too, just saying hi, thanks for coming. You'll get the recording, like I said, and you can always respond back to that email. It is checked and monitored. But you know, if you want to directly chat with Laura, I'm happy to help connect. So,
Thank you.
have a great night, everybody. Thanks, Laura. It was fun hanging out again. We'll see you again soon. Thanks, everybody.
Very much appreciated. Thank you.
Bye-bye.